Before I come on board your vessel, will you have the kindness to inform me whither you are bound?
We're on a voyage of discovery towards the northern pole.
I seek one who fled from me.
Then I fancy we have seen him, for the day before we picked you up, we saw some dogs drawing a sledge with a man on it across the ice.
You may easily perceive, Captain Walton, that I have suffered great and unparalleled misfortunes. My fate is nearly fulfilled. I wait but for one event, and then I shall repose in peace. Listen to my history, and you will perceive how irrevocably my destiny is determined. When I was 5 years of age, my mother brought a child to our house, an orphan who she had found. Her name was Elizabeth. Everyone loved her, and I looked upon her as my own to love, protect, and cherish. I followed the routine of education in Geneva, but for the most part, I was self-educated. I searched for the philosopher's stone and the elixir of life. When I was 15 years old, I witnessed a violent thunderstorm. Lightning struck a tree 20 yards from my house. When I went to check the tree, I found it was reduced to ribbons of wood. A man of great knowledge in natural philosophy was with me at this time and explained the theory of electricity and galvanism. This was astonishing to me. When I had attained the age of 17, my parents decided that I should become a student at the University of Ingolstadt. I had hitherto attended the schools of Geneva. Before I departed for school, my mother had attended Elizabeth with scarlet fever. Elizabeth was saved, but my mother sickened and she died.
My children, my firmest hopes of future happiness were placed on the prospect of reunion. The expectation will now be the consolation of your father.
Mother, no! Finally, I made it. The University of Ingolstadt.
The ancient teachers of this science promised impossibilities and performed nothing. The modern masters promise very little and have indeed performed miracles. They have discovered how the blood circulates in the nature of the air we breathe. They have acquired new and almost unlimited powers. They can command the thunders of heaven, mimic the earthquake, and even mock the invisible world with its own shadows.
I will pioneer a new way, explore unknown powers, and unfold to the world the deepest mysteries of creation. I now have the power to bestow animation. What the? You're hideous. You were supposed to be beautiful. I had worked hard for nearly 2 years for the sole purpose of infusing life into an inanimate body. For this, I deprived myself of rest and health. But now that I had finished, breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. I took refuge in the courtyard and passed the night wretchedly. As I awoke, a letter from my father telling me that my youngest brother William had been found murdered, and bidding me return and comfort Elizabeth made me decide to hasten home. Finally, I'm almost home. Devil, do you dare approach me? Begone, vile insect, or rather stay, that I may trample you to dust.
I expected this reception. All men hate the wretched. How then must I be hated, who am miserable beyond all living things? You purpose to kill me. Do your duty towards me, and I will do mine towards you and the rest of mankind. If you will comply with my conditions, I will leave them and you at peace. But if you refuse, I will glut the maw of death with the blood of your remaining friends. Have I not suffered enough that you seek to increase my misery? Remember that I am thy creature. Everywhere I see bliss from which I am alone excluded. I was benevolent and good. Misery made me a fiend. I have assisted the labors of man. I have saved human beings from destruction, and I have been stoned and shot at as recompense. The feelings of kindness and gentleness have given place to rage. Mankind spurns and hates me. The desert mountains and dreary glaciers are my refuge, and the bleak sky is kinder to me than your fellow beings. Shall I not hate them who abhor me? You must create a female for me with whom I can live. I am alone and miserable. Man will not associate with me, but one as deformed and horrible as myself would not deny herself to me. What I ask of you is reasonable and moderate. If you consent, neither you nor any human being shall ever see us again. My evil passion will have fled, for I shall meet with the sympathy. My life will flow quietly away, and in my dying moments I shall not curse my Maker.
I consent to your demand, on your solemn oath to quit Europe forever.
I swear by the sun and by the fire of love which burns in my heart that if you grant my prayer, While they exist, you shall never behold me again. Depart to your home, and commence your labors. I shall watch their progress with unutterable anxiety.
Begone, I break my promise. Never will I create your equal in deformity and wickedness. Leave me, I am inexorable.
Shall each man find a wife for his bosom, and each beast have his mate, and I be alone? I had feelings of affection, and they were requited by detestation and scorn. Are you happy while I gravel in the intensity of my own wretchedness? I go, but remember, I shall be with you on your wedding night.
You! Father? No! You were all that I had left. Ever since that day, I decided enough was enough. I'm pursuing the monster for my vengeance. I cannot guess how many days have passed since then. I was about to sink under the accumulation of distress when you took me on board, but I had determined, if you were going southward, still to trust myself to the mercy of the seas rather than abandon my purpose, for my task is unfulfilled.
He is dead who called me into being, and the remembrance of us both will speedily vanish. Soon I shall die, and what I now feel no longer felt.